This movie I'm not even going to talk about. I'm just going to put a D. I think you guys can all understand. Today I'm going to be ranking my favorite Star Wars films from best to worst. And some of these are probably not going to be a surprise, and some of them maybe. So we're going to get right into it. Starting off, we have episode 2. I really like this movie. Now, obviously, it's not the best within the prequels, but I think it was a great movie. Having Count Dooku, played by Christopher Lee, amazing movie. We also have Mace Windu, played by Samuel L. Jackson. So, two really good characters that came into it. Obviously, Anakin is a lot more grown up, and I enjoyed some of the action scenes in this. Was it the best storyline? Not really, but I thought it was great, and get to learn more about the clones. There's that iconic scene with Obi-Wan, so I'm definitely gonna have to put this in A tier. I saw it when it came out. Just those great Star Wars vibes. Empire Strikes Back has to be an S tier movie. I don't think there would ever be the conversation of what's better than this movie. There could be one, maybe I'll put it up there, but this arguably is the best Star Wars movie of all time. Just iconic, original Darth Vader, amazing. Just the whole storyline is incredible. If you are trying to get into Star Wars, this would be the movie that I would tell you to watch. It is just awesome. Now, some people have different opinions. Again, I think this is probably the best, and it's also ranked as the best Star Wars film if you go on like those movie Rotten Tomatoes, whatever it may be. All right, The Force Awakens. This is C. It's definitely better than the two other ones, which we'll get into, but I thought it was unique. Again, it wasn't horrible. I think the J.J. Abrams, I think, did a good job. Personally, I don't think the storyline makes sense whatsoever, and I also think it was woke, just everything that they were doing. I think it is important to have a female lead, and I think sometimes it works really well, and it doesn't have to do because it's a female. It's more of like the storyline itself. It just didn't really make sense whatsoever, and I think it could have went a very different direction. But again, Disney, of course, and George Lucas not being a part of it definitely took a big hit. So that's my opinion about that one. This movie I'm not even going to talk about. I'm just going to put a D. I think you guys can all understand why. Just horrible, horrible film. I can't even imagine what they were thinking when they're making these films. Like, I just can't even contemplate what I don't understand how they make these films, how horrible they were. When you go from a movie like Empire Strikes Back to then it's just horrible. I don't even know what to say. So I just keep going. I think A New Hope is definitely a great movie. Do you think that I'm probably gonna put it in front of Attack of the Clones? It's the introduction of Star Wars. It's the first Star Wars movie that was ever made. I think it's great. I think I like it a lot. I really like Alex Guinness as Obi-Wan. It was sad that you only got to see him for such a short time, but incredible. And Vader, the first look at him is always so cool. And R2D2, just all the characters that we love. Awesome to just see them for the first time, and it's iconic. So it definitely has to be an Phantom Menace. You guys are gonna be like, "What the heck?" I have to put it S tier. I think the Phantom Menace is so overhated. It's different. Now, I'm not gonna say, some parts of it that maybe are questionable, but this was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw. I absolutely loved it as a kid. I still love it to this day. I love the vibes. Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn is incredible. Darth Maul in that action scene of Duel of Fates is just incredible. Love this movie. I think it definitely is. It's up there as one of the best Star Wars movies. A lot of people don't like Jar Binks, but I think it's great. Don't really care what people say. I think it's honestly a great movie, and I feel so horrible for the actor that played Anakin Skywalker. I think his name was like Jake something. I feel really horrible. People treated him so horribly. I don't know. I think it's a great movie. Definitely deserves to be up there. Sure. Return of the Jedi, I think, is probably going to be up there at A tier. I do think it's better than A New Hope. I do think it's better than Attack of the Clones. Just again, there's epic. Han Solo, the story was great, and the ending, of course, is incredible. Big for the film. I just love the original Star Wars films. It's just so just amazing. Just vibe is incredible. So yeah. Rogue One, I'm gonna put it B. I think Rogue One was a great to be quite honest with you. I think for the spin-off of a Star Wars movie, I think it was really, really great. The just whole cinematics of the movie was incredible. I think the story was a great way to kind of fill in those gaps between some of the movies. So I liked it and I definitely would watch it again. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put it up there. Okay, the Sith. Now, this is one I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be like, what is he gonna put? I'm going to put Revenge of the Sith. I'm gonna put it as my number one. Now, I'm gonna explain why. Revenge of the Sith is just okay. So when did the what was it, the 20th anniversary of the film? I watched it in theaters. It is such a great movie. The action scenes, that the final, one having to, not have the high ground, just absolutely destroying him in that fight, is incredible. I mean, something about the movie that I will always say it's my favorite of all time. Yeah, I love the movie, and that's all I can really say. That it's literally the introduction to Darth Vader, and seeing that scene where he becomes Darth Vader is crazy. Yeah, I love it, and the this with Yoda and Palpatine is incredible. Yeah, I have to say. Solo, probably gonna have to put C. I don't really remember what happened. I saw the movie. I really don't remember too much about it. It's good. But I don't think it's like the best. So where I would put that, I mean, not much to say about it, but that's kind of my opinion. I mean, I know. And obviously last, I'm not even gonna talk about it. D, all I'm gonna say is probably the worst films I've ever seen, and I waited so long to not see it. I did not want to watch it, and then I ended up watching it. It was horrible. What a bad storyline. I mean, oh, so Force Awakens I could watch. I'm not gonna like go out of my way to watch it, but the rest of them are just so bad. Like I think a fan could have made a much better movie than what they made. The whole just idea with Sith returning makes no sense. The fact that Rey's like family is honestly garbage. It's garbage. Yeah, Disney at its most woke, and Disney just destroying a franchise that everyone loves. And I her name who was in charge of like Disney at the time. I don't know if or of Star Wars at the time. I don't know if she's still around. Just horrible, absolutely horrible. But let's add the list. So again, I feel very confident about this list. I wouldn't really change too much about it. I think these are, in terms of what I think. I'm sure a lot of you would probably have different opinions. I know sometimes people say Return of the Jedi is number one. I This is pretty accurate, and it's what I would watch if I was going from like my to worst films. And honestly, I would not even watch the D tier. I would completely skip it. I would go down to C tier, but I would not watch D whatsoever. I think they're so bad. And in my head, I don't like, how people are like, that's not my movie. Like, I don't know. I horrible. I hope that we wouldn't have to remember that these were Star Wars films, but unfortunately they are. And I feel horrible for kids who grew up having to be like, these are the films I grew up seeing, because they're horrible. And I'm sure there's going to be some people out there that are like, this is the greatest film I've ever seen. And it's painful. It's painful. But yep, this is my list for Star Wars. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.